Mm.
Welcome to the 12th week after Pentecost. It is Friday, August the 16th, 2024. This is the Manna at the Tap podcast, where we as a community actively seek the spiritual nourishment our souls crave. I'm Gloria, your fellow traveler on this spiritual journey, and together we offer and receive insights and interpretations from the daily lectionary readings, which provide the manna designed to nurture our spiritual growth. Today's lectionary reading is 1 Kings chapter 1, verses 28 to 48. It's the story of Solomon becoming king in place of David, his father. With the help of the lectionary readings, we have explored many areas of David's life, from his humble beginnings as a teenager caring for the family sheep while his older brothers were in the army of King Saul. There was Samuel's unannounced visit to the family home and the secret anointing of David to succeed King Saul. There was the killing of Goliath and David's job as the court musician hired to play his harp to help calm Saul's nerves. There were his many years of running from Saul, hiding in the wilderness. And then there was the time he brought home the Ark of the Covenant. There was his coronation, his monetary fling against Bathsheba, and as predicted by Nathan, his spiritual director, the difficulties he would face with his adult children. And now, to the closing days of David's life. He's old, advanced in years, and unaware of what's happening around the nation. His fourth son, Adonijah, brother of Absalom, exalted himself to replace David as king. He had all the trappings of chariots, horse riders, and men to run before him. And he hoped that if he put forth the image of a king, he would become the king in reality. The narrator noted, though, that in light of Adonijah's character, he was never talked to or disciplined by David, with whom he did not seem to have a good relationship. Several of David's trusted advisors in the royal administration joined Adonijah in sanctioning him as king. Still, though, he didn't invite his brother Solomon, Nathan, David's spiritual director, or the priest Zadok. These were members of David's inner circle. Nathan was also Bathsheba's spiritual director, so he brought to her attention what was transpiring with Adonijah. He advised her, go to the king, let him know what's happening, and while you're in there talking to him, I will come into the room and I will confirm with David what Adonijah is doing. Nathan knew that Bathsheba and Solomon would be killed if Adonijah became king. David was old and feeble, but he remembered his promise to Bathsheba that her son Solomon would be king after him and that he would sit on the throne instead of him. This was a display of God's grace to Bathsheba after the traumatic experience of rape and the death of the child. David and she went on to have 4 more sons together, and the grace to her was Solomon. His name means shalom, peace. He was the child of promise who would reign instead of his father David. David reaffirmed the promise he made to Bathsheba and began implementing it by giving his inner circle of trusted advisors directions on how to immediately proceed. They were to let Solomon ride David's horse. Zadok and Nathan were to anoint Solomon, and then they were to blow the trumpet announcing the royal proclamation, having the people shout, "Long live King Solomon." And then they were to bring him to sit on the throne. David praised God for God's faithfulness to him. Right there on his bed, he bowed in worship to God, offering up these words of praise. Praise be to the Lord, the God of Israel, who has allowed my eyes to see my son succeed me on the throne.